Hey everyone, this is Alex Milstein. I'm the editor-in-chief of Betting News Now, and this is Bet Ed Now, bite-sized bits of betting industry knowledge. Today, my guest is Jon Piett. He's the co-owner of six-store Modern Mattress in Canada, and we're going to be talking about how to build a solid company culture. Hope you enjoy. So, welcome to the show, John.
Oh, thanks, Alex. It's awesome to be here and finally for us to connect again. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. So I would love to talk to you today, John, about building a company culture. I think you probably have a lot of experience in that across your six modern mattress stores. I'd love to start with just a little bit about what is your company culture like and how have you built it to be this way?
Company culture is one of those things. It's so hard to get and so easy to lose, if that makes sense. So to build it up, we failed a lot at it, I would say, and did a lot of the wrong things to learn to do the right things as well. So a lot of things that we're doing is building up that kind of grassroots level, bringing our team to be involved in a lot of things that we do, from, designing our beds for our floor to how our store should look to naming the beds. There's a whole bunch of different things that we do. And then a lot of things behind the scenes, as we build culture, understanding each one of our team members and what their strengths are. So that's something maybe we didn't do in the past. And we really, really focus on that sort of stuff. So, if it's one of our delivery drivers on the truck, what makes them tick outside of doing that? What motivates them? What gets them up in the morning? And is there a way that we can harness that to make their day better or, make them feel more involved in the company, that sort of thing. So we really look at those different ways from, like I said, our delivery drivers, our dream team is what we call them, or sleep consultants on the floor. A lot of people know, especially in the bedding industry or furniture industry, there's lots of downtime. So what
Yeah.
are things that we can do between those times? They might have hours on end during the day. So is there things that we can find out and build and help build our culture to help them grow as well? So it's a lot of things like that that we look at.
I think specifically in the retail industry, it's really important to have that company culture because a lot of people who go into, the lower kind of retail sales associates positions, it takes a lot for them to care about their job. Someone like yourself obviously cares about your job because, you founded this company, it's very important to you, but somebody coming in has to have that reason. So do you find that creating the company culture that do you find that it makes employees want to work, have fun at work?
Oh, 100%, 100%. So again, it takes a village to do this. So it's not just me. I get some amazing partners. Drew and Cody are my other partners, and they're on the day-to-day floor. So again, it's something that we tackle together and the whole company. So yeah, you're always looking at different ways to really build that. And again, it starts from the leadership up top. So from myself and my partners, I mean, if we're going to scream culture, it better start with us. We better be coming out there being vulnerable to our staff, bringing them involved, not, top down leadership, do this, do that. Hey, you know what? Right before we came on this one about half an hour ago, you should have seen me. I was up on the ladder with my staff, moving lights around just to make sure our guests, we had lights going in their eyes when they're laying on the beds.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't direct that our staff to do that. They held the ladder, so I didn't fall because I don't like heights. So they
Right.
laughed at that and they filmed it. But it's leading with it as well and showing that culture starts, all over the place and at the top. And you need to show that you're involved. And when you're excited about it, your passion goes to them and they'll look at different things. So yeah, stuff like the lights, they know for sure. They're like, John, we need to get this done.
Yeah.
And so they know my passion and their passion. And so it just kind of spills over into the whole thing. So, like I said, it starts kind of from the top and all around the company and just respecting people is the biggest thing too.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting, what employees do when they are actually interested in what they're doing. Like you said with the lights, somebody else gave me an example of a person who works in the retail store was saying that they would need, a certain type of sheets. And the owner said, "Oh no, we don't need those." And the guy said, "I'm on the floor every day and people ask for these." And that's something that it makes them happy to help the customer and really just enjoy what they're doing.
100%. And it's listening to ideas. I've been in companies, in the past where I would have ideas and I would bring them forward and they'd get shut down.
Mhm.
We listen to a lot of things. We have weekly calls with all our teams. If it's our
Mhm.
dream teams, our sales consultants, we have weekly meetings where they can bring up ideas. If it's good, bad, whatever it is, not saying that everything gets implemented, but we're listening. And you know what? If it's a good idea, we're going to give credit. Our newest thing that just came out is our dog bed. A lot,
Mhm.
we made an actual mattress that's exactly the same as our normal normal one. And it kind of came from our team and they kept kind of going, John, I think this would be a good idea. We have people asking about these dog bed, a bed just like a Lotus bed that we make here and sell. So can we do it? And finally we did it. We'll see how it goes. But there's a lot of those ideas that kind of come from within and just listening to our team. A lot of the stuff that we design really comes from a lot of our staff, from experience on the floor. Those are the people that are on the front line. So listening to them, bringing ideas, creating a safe space almost for that curiosity and creativity to come to life. And that kind of builds that culture of, hey, bring an idea to the table. It might work, it might not. But having that little bit of a safe space that you could bring it versus you're scared to speak up in a meeting or say that's the wrong direction. A lot of our staff will bring stuff that maybe we overlook or bring up something a little different. So I think
Yeah.
there's that respect level in our organization. So
It seems like that two-way exchange of ideas, it would be a good place to start for a retailer who maybe is having trouble building their culture or having a high turnover rate. That just seems like such a simple idea to, actually ask the employees what they think about things that they are working with every day.
exactly. So yeah, just in same way that we do with our guests when they come in the store, put your feet in their shoes, understand how it feels for them and have that empathy going back. And then you get that mutual respect as you're going forward. So that's the biggest thing is that culture. And like I said, it could go away like that. It could change. So just understanding that it's always needs to be evolving, always needs to be top of mind when you're dealing with your staff in retail. It's the name of the game.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, that was great. That was a great conversation. I really appreciate you coming on today, John.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, we'll talk soon.